Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year's Eve. Welcome to the last video of 2022. If you couldn't tell by my face, 2022 felt like the year that was truly going to destroy me at points, but I am so excited to just put 2022 to rest, put it in the rear view, and I am so excited for 2023. I did just get off work. I do really want to get this video up so that I only miss 3 days of Vlogmas. I am so tired, I am so worn out, and 2023 is going to be the year of more balance for me. And I do plan to do a get ready with me, kind of talking about that and maybe some potential changes to my channel the first week or two in January. But nevertheless, please ignore. I just got off work. My face has all but worn away. I've had my makeup on for at least 12 hours at this point, but still wanted to get this video filmed. So today is going to be my makeup rehab series finale for 2022. I was going to do this and the introduction to 2023 together, but I'm actually going to change this project quite a bit, and I think you guys will be really excited about the changes coming in 2023. So I wanted to do a whole separate introduction video to that because I'm going to break up some of my goals by quarters, and I want to be a little bit more strict with myself in the new year. So I'm super excited about that. Stay tuned for the introduction for 2023 coming soon. And then I'll also do my end of year makeup empties, which will actually be coming in 2023, like the first few days of 2023, where I go through all of the makeup empties that I finished up in 2022, as well as I will do a video about all of the makeup products, like how many makeup products I purchased and how much I spent in each makeup category, so like foundation, concealer, etc. That will be a separate video coming in 2023 as well. So today's literally just my makeup rehab series finale. If you are new to this series, it is a beauty bank style low buy where I started the year with 30 beauty credits. Every time I purchased a makeup product, excluding eyeshadow palettes, I deducted a credit from my beauty bank, and for every makeup empty, I was able to add a product back into my beauty bank. That is how we ran it. I also gave myself a goal of only purchasing 36 palettes in 2022, and I have 5 palettes to share. I was at 31 palettes last month, so we're at exactly 36. I'm terrible. I don't know if I'm going to put a limit on myself for palettes next year, simply because palettes are my favorite thing. I'm not going to try and do any sort of like pan those eyeshadows. I'm going to do a pan that palette, but I'm not going to be doing any sort of pan those eyeshadows, just to try and cycle through my palette collection a little bit more next year. So more to come on that. I'm rambling at this point in time. If you're excited to see my makeup rehab series finale for 2022, stay tuned first. If you have yet to subscribe to my channel and you like project painting content or just chit-chatting about makeup, I would love if you'd consider subscribing before moving on. And other than that, let's get into the finale. All right, you guys, as always, I'm going to break this up into segments, starting with PR, moving on to palettes, and then we'll get into all of the makeup that I purchased since my last update, as well as all of my empties. I do have 3 PR products. There will be timestamps in case you are not interested in any of the specific sections, but the 3 PR products I received, the first one is from Good Molecules. It's the Sheer Mineral Sunscreen SPF. I'm super excited to try this simply because this is a more affordable SPF, and I've heard really good things about it. I live in Minnesota. We're, you know, not quite in the dead of winter. I feel like the dead of winter is like end of January, beginning of February, where you truly question why you exist in Minnesota. But when it gets warmer, I'm excited to truly put this to the test in the sun. Plus I have a work trip to California in February, so I'll be busting that out and bringing it with me. And then I did receive 2 products from Merit Beauty as well. So I have one of their Flush Balm cheek colors in the shade Raspberry Sorbet, which I actually am really excited about, simply because I don't have another cream or liquid blush in a shade quite like this, and I feel like this is going to be the most perfect shade for this kind of time of year. Can you tell I'm tired and sleepy? It's this really beautiful like mauve raspberry shade, but it has this really beautiful glow, and it is a little bit more sheer on the cheeks. This I think is going to be perfect for like everyday work for me. And then I also have one of their lipsticks, and I don't know if I have the shade on this. I'm not sure, but it's this really beautiful nude shade. I have not tried their lipsticks yet. Okay. I feel like this reminds me so much of Tarte Rum Punch, which is like one of my absolute favorite shades of all time. So I am super excited about this as well. I haven't tried any of the products yet that I have received in PR, but that's the PR section. Next up, let's move into the palettes that I brought in. Like I said, I had purchased 31 palettes up until the beginning of December, and I feel like I usually do well in December, but I didn't do so well in terms of makeup spending this December, both in palettes as well as the makeup products that I purchased. So the 5 palettes I purchased the NARS the Stargaze eyeshadow palette. I was such a fan of the NARS cheek palette in this collection, and I've just been interested in purchasing more products from NARS, so I decided to pick this up. I could not deny the beauty of this lilac shade, and I have really enjoyed this palette so far. I've used this a few times. I've used every shade in this palette actually, and there's not one shade that I was super disappointed in. I will say, like, this purple shade right here I don't get a ton of use out of, or don't see myself getting a ton of use out of, but other than that I actually really like the palette. I'm actually really impressed with the lilac shade. All over the lid I feel like it gives me the impact that I want, and I think it's super beautiful. From Adept Cosmetics, I wanted to purchase this before, like, I figured this is a limited edition palette and I wanted to get my hands on it before I couldn't anymore, because I feel like I've heard so many people rave about this palette. It's the Adept Cosmetics Heather Austin palette, and it just looks so freaking pretty. I have the Plain Jade Remastered, and I've been such a fan of that I just couldn't deny the beauty of this palette, and I'm very excited to start testing that out. I haven't tried that one yet. Why did I need this? Oh, because it's a really beautiful green palette. ColourPop released this palette. It's the Sage the Day palette, and it was on the Ulta website, which is why I purchased it. Sometimes if ColourPop, like, sometimes I'll purchase from the ColourPop website, but I'm more likely to purchase if I can get it at Ulta. And when I saw this palette on Trendmood, I was like, okay, I'm gonna purchase that if it comes into Ulta, but if not, it wasn't meant to be. And then I saw it at Ulta and I just had to buy it. It actually looks so pretty. This, like, super deep olive forest green in the shade Smudge Me actually looks so beautiful. These shimmer shades I'm all about. Like, we have a blue brown shade here, I mean, hello. And then actually Lit Vibes also looks like a really beautiful inner corner. I'm actually so excited about this palette. I feel like I'm really gonna love this one. You guys saw me in the makeup releases I'm glad I skipped video. I actually ended up not skipping one of the palettes I was going to talk about, and it is the Glamlight Scooby Doo, the Rutro Raggy palette. Haven't tried this yet. Definitely not an everyday color story for me, but I just had to have it. I did get it on sale, and it does look like it reminds me of the Shroud Cosmetics palette in collaboration with Beauty Bean. And I just truly had to have it I have no good explanation for you guys, but I'm excited to try this as well. Even my mom was up here and I showed her this palette because my sister and I, as I mentioned previously in a video, watched the Scooby Doo, like the people version of Scooby Doo, not the cartoon. We must have watched that video over 100 times on VHS, so we were like rewinding it, and my mom obviously was there for many of the occasions that we watched Scooby Doo. So I was laughing with them saying I bought the Rutro Raggy palette, and she, who of all people I would not expect my mom to say like colorful eyeshadow is pretty, but she was even excited about the palette. So, and then the 5th and final palette is this one from Danessa Myricks. This is so expensive and I definitely didn't need to purchase this, but as I kept talking about the Danessa Myricks Volume 3 and how unique it was, I just had to purchase this. I will say, okay, I don't know if you have to like wet your specifically like water activate some of these two shades specifically. I'm gonna have to look into that, but these, like, literally brushing my finger over it, like I literally get nothing on my finger. It feels almost like a dried out shade. Like, it feels like there's almost a layer of glue on top of it. It's very bizarre. But I'm gonna have to figure that out. Even so, like, I get that these take up a large portion of the palette, but I do still have at least 8 other fun shades. This is this really chunky textured foiled shade. These two right here, I don't think I'm gonna like love them, but I'm still not mad that I purchased this palette. I haven't tried it yet. But For the Vikings playoff game, their first playoff game, you can bet your bottom dollar I will be busting out this trance shade because I feel like this is the perfect Vikings purple, and it might look blue to you. It definitely is a multi-chrome shade, but oh, it's so smooth and so pretty. So purchase that palette. Okay, so those were all of my palettes and PR. Now let's get into the makeup products that I purchased. So I started the year with a beauty bank of 30. As of the last update, my beauty bank was down to, I think it was 20, meaning if I didn't use anything up in December, I could still technically bring in 20 makeup products, and that would be a-okay. You guys are probably sitting at home watching the screen being like, girl, how is this even like a low buy? And I would say it's more of like just like a beauty challenge. I feel like I should more so refer to it as a beauty challenge. Next year I want to start with an even lower beauty bank. I'm rambling again. Let's just get into it. Okay. I was thinking that I really wasn't going to purchase anything in December because that's typically how it goes. But I actually did bring in 8 makeup products. So one of the products is the new Makeup by Mario foundation. I had given myself a goal of finishing 3 foundations before I brought any more foundation into my collection. I did reach that goal, but then I did purchase 2 foundations. I'm terrible. So the Makeup by Mario foundation is on its way to me. I purchased that on launch day. I literally couldn't help myself, and I'm so excited to test out that foundation. I wanted to include that in this video even though I don't physically have it because, again, I'm resetting my makeup rehab for next year and I don't want that to be like a carryover. So I purchased the Makeup by Mario foundation that's on its way to me, and then I also purchased the NYX Bear With Me blurring foundation. This just, it was like curiosity killed the cat with this one. I just wanted to see what this was all about. I do feel like the drugstore can do foundations really well, and I've kind of slowly been really getting into NYX again. I feel like I tried a few of their products last year and I was really impressed. Like, I can't really think of a product that I didn't like from NYX. I also saw that my favorite brow glue from NYX is coming in tinted versions now, and I can't wait for that. Plus they're coming out with a lip oil that I feel like I need to have. But I purchased the Blur foundation. Oh, I do always like to give prices too, just for reference. So the NYX foundation retails for $14. The Makeup by Mario foundation was $42. I am planning in 2023 to do monthly, like, ranking all products that I've tried from a specific brand. I did ranking all of my Natasha, like ranking everything I've ever tried from Natasha Denona last year. And so I want to do a monthly series this year. If you guys have specific brands you want to see me do, leave me a comment down below. But you guys know I love Nabla Cosmetics so much, so I figured Nabla would be like just a natural selection for one of the brands because I've tried quite a few of their products, but there's still a few that I haven't tried. And on Ulta, I want to say there was like some points deal. I was like, you know what, I'm going to make a purchase. I've had my eye on this since I saw it released on the Ulta website. It's the Nabla Radiant Plumping Serum Primer. I love to try new primers. I've been really good about not actually purchasing and trying a lot of primer, especially compared to like the last few years. So I felt okay purchasing a primer. I've used this a few times, and I will say so far it's not my absolute favorite. Like, I wouldn't say I think it'll be a repurchase. But yeah, those are my like first impressions thoughts. And then I also purchased the Nabla Baking and Setting Powder. The Close-Up Baking and Setting Powder. I don't know if I'm gonna regret this because I have not been that into loose powder and I purchased the loose powder. But again, Nabla I think is the brand that I'm going to do in January, so I wanted to bring in those 2 products or purchase those 2 products so I could try them out. So in that same Ulta order, I don't know if I was trying to reach like a dollar value threshold to get some points, but Kelly Hooch, I always lean on her for recommendations. I feel like she never steers me wrong. She has been talking about the RAM Beauty highlights all year, so I decided to pick up the shade Miss Mercury. And I will say I actually am super impressed with this highlight. I have been wearing this non-stop this week, and every time I try and tell myself to reach for a different highlight, it's this one that I keep reaching for. It gives this really beautiful subtle glow to the cheeks, and this is more of like a champagne sort of shade, but it's a champagne that works for me. Typically, I just always lean on pink highlights. They're my favorite, and rare is the day I go for like anything outside of a pink highlight, but I've really been enjoying that one from RAM Beauty. That retails for $22. By the way, the Nabla powder $22 and the Nabla primer $30. I've been really bad about sharing the prices, but they'll all be in my description box next to the products. why the heck did I buy a matte liquid lipstick? So this is from MAC. It is the shade Over the Taupe, and it is the Powder Kiss liquid lip color. I have had my eye on this specific shade and this lip product all year. And again, in that Ulta order, I don't know if I was trying to reach a dollar value threshold, but I'm not kidding when I say this is something that whenever I'm at Ulta, I've thought about purchasing this year. And I don't regret it. I've worn this a couple of times. It's more of like a blotted lip sort of effect. It's like this soft matte, just really beautiful, kind of like powdery, but in a beautiful way, lip product. It is a little bit drying, but not as uncomfortable as the straight liquid lipsticks from MAC, which I hated. And I just absolutely love the shade. This retails for $26. I know I didn't need it, but I'm really happy I have it. Also didn't need this, but also felt like I needed it. This is the Natasha Denona, the My Dream Cheek Trio. I wanted to purchase this when this released, and then I didn't. And I can't remember who I saw raving about this product, but I was like, ooh, I feel like I need to pick that up before I potentially can't get my hands on it. I feel like it says this is limited edition, but my guess is it'll be out for at least a year. I feel like that always happens with Natasha Denona products. But it comes with a cream blush, a glow cream base, and a Dream Glow powder. I have been loving the glow cream base, which is pretty intense, and then also the Dream Glow powder. Again, another really beautiful sort of subtle wet looking highlight that's a little bit more on the champagne side, and I've been having a lot of fun with this as well. So I don't know why, but I've been into like face palettes this year. I've done better at cycling through them as well, but face palettes just like have my attention, and I don't know what it is, because that's a first like ever for me. Normally I'm like, face palettes I never get use out of and they don't excite me, but I have been loving like trios, face palettes. I'm all about. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm a changed woman. And then the last product is this one from Makeup Revolution. It's the Hydrate and Fix Radiance Makeup Fixing Spray. I am down to my last few makeup setting sprays, and I just wanted to try another one from Makeup Revolution. I have tried one other one in the past. It was the one in the tin can that I thought was going to be like an aerosol spray, but it wasn't, and I didn't like that one. So I'm hoping this one actually hydrates my face and offers a little bit of a glow to the skin, because that is truly what I like. This retails for $11. I've been so bad at saying prices. $11. And then the Natasha Denona Trio retails for $48. So in total in December I purchased 8 makeup products, and if I spent full price on everything I would have spent a total of $215. I just tracked full price. I'm not exactly certain. I know I had like an Ulta coupon that I used, but just to keep things easy, I keep it at just the full price of the products. So $215, 8 products. That brings my total for the year to 84 makeup products purchased. So I came in under 100 makeup products purchased this year, and I'm so incredibly happy about that, because that has not happened in years past. I use up a lot of makeup products, but I also purchase so much. So to purchase less than 100 just honestly feels truly like a feat. Like, that feels like a win in my books. So we're gonna take it. And then I spent a total, if I paid full price for all of the makeup purchased in 2022, I would have spent a total of $1,682.88. I did purchase quite a few products in the Sephora VIB sale this year, as well as Ulta coupons. Sometimes I have like points that I use, but I do still keep track of full price of these products. And I share this information just because it doesn't always feel good to just watch everyone haul everything and not necessarily like put the dollar value to it, because it just sets this unrealistic expectation in my mind. So transparently, if I had spent full price on my makeup this year, on all the makeup this year, it would have cost me over $1,600. That being said, my beauty bank was at 20. Subtracting those 8 makeup products would bring my beauty bank down to 12 makeup products to end the year out with. But I actually do have 7 makeup empties also to share. So the 7 makeup products I have to end the year. I did finally finish up my Kosas airbrush powder, which I'm so excited about. I was getting a little nervous that it wasn't going to happen. I really did fall in love with this powder this year, and this is something that I do want to purchase in the future after I get through some of my other powders that I won't repurchase. And this retails for $34. I also finally finished up the Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer. I have maybe one used around the edge, which I'm going to use tomorrow morning, but I'm counting this as an empty, and this retails for $39. This took me all year to finish, and I love this primer. This is by far the best smoothing primer I've ever used, and when I get through some of my other smoothing primers, I absolutely will be repurchasing that as well. I finished up this little mini Kosas Air Brow, just a clear brow gel. This was fine, nothing great. I prefer the NYX Brow Glue. I also have a couple other brow products similar to this still in my collection that I'm trying to get through, but I would not repurchase this. I just didn't feel like it had a strong enough hold in my brows. It just wasn't my favorite. And because this is just a little trial size, I just count this as $2. I also finished up a deluxe size of the, or deluxe sample size of the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist. This is beautiful. Such a beautiful dewy skin mist, but it's so expensive. And I have made the splurge knowing how expensive it was in the past. I can't say I won't ever repurchase it again, but it would truly have to be like a very special reason why I would repurchase it. Maybe I would be going on vacation and I would just want like that extra dewy glow. There is something just like, something about this spray and the finish it leaves I do love. But it's so expensive, I don't need it at all times. The travel size of this retails for $20. And then another spray that I finished up, I finished the e.l.f. Stale Day Blue Light Micro Setting Mist. This was fine. I used this mostly before I went in with my makeup or as I was putting my makeup on. If I wanted to like melt my powders together, I would spray this a lot. Like as I'm doing my makeup, I spray a lot because I have such dry skin. Sometimes it just feels nice and refreshing. So it was good for that, because it is a less expensive powder. This retails for $10. But I don't think this like is anything special at all, and I probably wouldn't purchase that. I'd rather try other things. I also am counting this Ilia mascara as an empty. This has been open for like 4 or 5 months. The deluxe travel trials smaller size of the Ilia mascaras retail for $12. The Limitless mascara is my absolute favorite mascara of all time, and I will forever just absolutely love that mascara. I do try and not purchase mascaras because you always get free mascara, whether it be point perks, free gift with purchase, whatever it is. But whenever I can get my hands on an Ilia Limitless mascara, yes please. And then the final empty I have here is the Jaclyn Cosmetics lip oil in the shade Ruby Drip. I did finish this off. I like the Jaclyn lip oils. They're fine. I don't think they're worth $20. I did just purchase 2 more of these on sale last month that I definitely didn't need to. Ruby Drip was kind of similar to like what my lips look like now, just like this popsicle lip sort of effect. There's like more sheer red, but really beautiful. Again, a very comfortable hydrating lip oil formula, but if I'm gonna spend high-end prices on lip oils, I'd rather just get the Clarins lip oil because it's my all-time favorite. That being said, I used up 7 makeup products, which would technically bring my beauty bank back up to 19 products, but it's the end of the year, so that is where we are ending the year. I did end up emptying out a total of 77 makeup products this year, which is super exciting. So there was only a difference of 7 makeup products purchased versus the amount of makeup products that I actually used up, which also is very exciting to me. I'm hoping maybe my goal next year is that I use more makeup than I bring in. That would be super exciting. Again, stay tuned for all of my revamps and all of the new rules for my makeup rehab series coming for 2023. But the total amount, or the total dollar value of products that I used up this month was $135 for a grand total of $1,498.96 worth of makeup empties this year. That makes me so sad. I was $2 away from $1,500, but I ended up only spending, well, I technically purchased at some point all of the products that I ended up using up as well, but I ended up only spending $184 more in makeup than the value of my used up makeup. So I always think it's just fun to kind of look at those little stats and the numbers and things like that. Again, stay tuned for a video early 2023 where I discuss the amount of money I spend per category of makeup last year in 2022, or this year technically when you're watching the video, as well as how many actual like numbers I brought into each category, so how many foundations, concealers, etc. Stay tuned for that video, but that is going to wrap it up for my makeup rehab series for 2022. Thank you guys for coming along for the ride. Leave me any comments of changes you would potentially want to see in 2023. Again, I have a pretty good idea of what I'm doing, but let me know what you want to see and I'll see what I can sneak in for little rules or things here and there. Thank you guys so much for your support on my channel this year, just your support of me. 2022 was a really, really hard year for me in terms of full years. Definitely the hardest year I've lived in my life, but I'm so optimistic and just truly excited for the first time in so long. Truly so excited for 2023 to start a new year, and that is gonna wrap it up. Thank you for your patience with me through all of my like tiredness and same outfits, etc. through Vlogmas. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you very soon in a new video in 2023. Happy New Year.